Alright, so before anyone asks, I'm not sick. I've had the worst allergic reaction possible to the new carpet that we put in, which I guess is common for some people and will pass, but I sound horrible. I've blown my nose probably 5,000 times today, and I'm going to try to run through this one quickly, because a lot of you suggested that I play the Resident Evil 3 Remake demo that came out a couple days ago, and talk about that. It's not the sort of thing that I've talked about really in the past, so I hope this is interesting for you guys. I'd like to do more RE content in the future, as I am a big fan of the series, but let's jump into 5 things that the RE3 Remake demo did right. The first thing I want to say that I love about this is the look of the world. Like, Raccoon City looks incredible. It's very moody. You've got these neon lights and businesses surrounded by this dark, decaying, like, death of the, obviously of the zombies and the rubble and everything, and it sort of mixes together very well. I mean, you have ideas like this in a lot of other games, but I'm really impressed at how this looks compared to the original. It really keeps the spirit of the original game alive, while also doing its own thing, I think. And it really is this moody atmosphere that lends itself to the RE brand extremely well. I don't think fans of the original will be let down by that. The second thing I love in this game is the music. There's a lot of things that make the music great. It fits the moodiness and the dreary and creepy atmosphere of the game, which is fantastic. I think I'll play a little bit of it here. And I'm able to do that, and here's why. At least as of yet, this music doesn't get claimed by YouTube's stupid copyright content ID system, which really isn't even their fault. It's been implemented because they were sued a long time ago. So it kind of has led to this gray area where the copyright content ID system is there to try and knock those things down without causing a problem for creators in the site, blah, 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 blah. But my point is that it seems like Capcom has opened this up to the Let's Play community. I'm not entirely sure if it'll stay that way, but the fact that the music has not been claimed yet, I think is a positive in and of itself, because frankly, it's something that I deal with a lot of the times making videos. It's really why I turn off game music in general. But I wanted to test this and see, and so far it looks like Capcom has made a very user-friendly decision in doing this, which I think is something that should be rewarded and recognized, because I'm really tired of game companies licensing, like getting someone to make their music who just licenses it to them, and then no one else is able to even fair use it with commentary or anything. So the fact that they were able to do that, honestly, big props to them. I hope it stays that way. I also want to talk about the most controversial element of this, which is Jill's redesign. I actually love it. I honestly do. I know that's going to be heresy to some people, especially like hardcore fans of the original series, because there was some backlash to her redesign, but I really do think it's done well. It's really practical, it's strong. I still think it's sexy, like if that's like, you know, the issue with it that some people have. I know a lot of people liked Jill's old look. It was a lot more feminine, but I really do think that this fits with sort of keeping the spirit of that costume or outfit alive, while also looking like it would fit into this setting and this world. And the developers have talked a little bit about that. Yes, it's like a remake of an old game, but the aesthetic of the game has slightly differed, so it does make sense that some of the character design would as well. I do think Carlos is a little boring in his design. Like, he's okay, but the one I cared the most about is Jill, and I think she looks phenomenal, from the tactical pants to the belt with the holster, you know, to the tank top, everything in between. I think she looks fantastic, and she fits in very well in the world around her. The fourth thing I'm a big fan of in this game is actually the inventory management, and I like that it doesn't hold your hand. It's not very forgiving, which is actually a nice thing to see in games today. Games have become very accessible in both great and bad ways, and I think that this game does a good job of having a difficulty and a challenge to it in just inventory management. Like, you have a certain amount of slots. How are you going to manage those slots? How do you combine items? Is it worth picking up this one half of an item in order to combine it later? Should you use this one green herb now or wait to find another one? It's really a risk reward and asking you as a player, what do you want to carry with you at a given time? How much do you want to focus on, like, your health, your tactical abilities, your key items, it's really an element of choice that I very much like, and it adds a puzzle-solving element to just moving around the world. This was really introduced to me in RE4, because that's actually where I started the series as a kid, and it's something I always liked about the series. I was disappointed when it left the series, and I'm very glad that it is back in these newer remasters, like the remakes. I always get that terminology confused. I'm very glad it's back, and I think it does add an element to the game that really will reward player experimentation and actually help you out with your playstyle. If you're a player who's like, oh man, I like carrying around grenades, hey, maybe you want to have multiple grenades in your inventory. Or maybe you're like, nah, these are too clunky, I don't want to use them, and you don't mess with them. It's really a neat idea. I also love the idea of making zombies actually scary, and zombies have really been beaten into the ground. It's a problem for the RE remakes in terms of trying to step beyond that cliche of that genre, because yes, in RE 1, 2, 3, they really did sort of modernize the zombie take in the gaming world, and they still are the standard, I think. I mean, you play something like Call of Duty Zombies, I know it's a completely different game, I think that's fun, but the zombies are not scary. There is a real threat to each individual zombie in this game that you encounter that I think does add an element of dread to the game, which will be awesome to see in the final product. It actually makes me really excited to play it. The final thing, by the way, that goes along with this, because technically this is kind of 6, but this fits in with zombies being scary, is Nemesis. Nemesis was always annoying to people, but I was always a huge fan of this idea of this, like, giant, brooding, like, unkillable monster that follows you around the game, and I was really hoping they'd do Nemesis justice in this game. It looks like, from the demo at least, that they're going to. Nemesis is strong and imposing, really creepy and freaky. He is like, the Ustanak tried to be that in RE6, but here it really does work and fit, and I'm excited to sort of like go through Raccoon City and the rest of the game while being pursued by this monster, never knowing where he's going to show up next. I love that idea. It reminds me a lot of some of my favorite ideas of like Alien Isolation, games like that, and it really does excite me to have this mouse and cat chase throughout the game. So these are 5 things I absolutely love about the RE3 remake demo. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you like to see more Resident Evil content in the future? Would you like to see more 5 things that did right and wrong? I do plan to play some RE games on the Let's Play channel when that goes up eventually. And hey, be sure to check out the links in the description below. I'm trying to grow the social media for the channel, including Twitter, Instagram, our Discord, our Patreon. Everything's down there. Be sure to check it out, and I'll see you in the next one where I'm hopefully not dying. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe, and in these uncertain times, I hope you are all doing well.